So you start to go ahead, how many breaths should I take? How much time should I take? And a minute resting, and your flesh, you can see the habits. It doesn't want to rest, it doesn't want to let go, but you're allowing yourself to allow your thinking to get more empowered. Because sometimes that's the layers that's going to come up, believing in yourself more. I never hired someone who didn't believe they could do the job that I'm asking them to do. You got it? It takes belief. It takes a lot of things, and we're going to go through these layers. But the thing is that if you're committed and you're everything you got, and you're doing it in a way where instead of being more dead inside, more deteriorated, more frustrated, more, how many people give up on their dreams? I heard there was this pastor I heard once speak, and he said, if you want to find the greatest potential, go to a graveyard. Because most people never fully realize their potential, and they take it to the grave with them. That was his point. We all have such amazing potential, such amazing ability, literally divine what you have inside you. The ability to adapt to things in a way that when you start leaning on that inner wisdom more and more, which is the life and the healing that you're looking for, right? When we start making sure it's expressing through us more and more and more, we have more energy, right? Even more to the challenges. That means our systems mentally, physically, how we deal with stuff is getting more empowered, so it's less draining when we go out. And if we're not getting the results we need, we go back and we say, okay, what challenge came up? What was the next layer? And what's actually shifting is us. So we can allow more of that inner wisdom to express through us and how we deal with the challenges or the people involved or what's going on. When you go ahead and you really shine your light and express your light, you want more money? Money follows value. How much would you pay for something extremely valuable to you? A little bit or a lot? How much would you pay for something that has zero value to you? It's all about value. Money follows value. Is that true for you too? Is that true for you? What if you didn't have the money, but it was extremely valuable to you? You start working on finding a way? Shine your light and focus on how you can contribute and how you can give to the world around you that raises the value of the world around you, that blesses, then what happens is abundance starts to flow through to you. People pay for what they value. The question is, what am I being called to do? What do I believe will make such a big difference in people's lives? They're going to go ahead and it's going to increase demand. They're going to say, hey, can I come over here? Can I go over there? You got to come here. You got to go there. You have that special gift in you. You're being called to a mission far greater than what you can imagine, something that everybody's going to want. You, talking to you. Okay. You have, and all you have to do is shine your light. Start seeing, look at how much you've overcome. What in your life has inspired you? What in your life has made a huge difference for you that you can pay forward to others? What really uplifts you the most and makes you feel the most gratitude in your life and the most joy when you think about how much you've grown and gained? And start focusing. That's where your greatest inspiration is, how I can pay that forward. And that's where you're going to achieve the most success, because it's not work when you're inspired. It's not work when it feels good. It's not work, and it becomes more effortless. Someone today or yesterday or someone said, Doc, it's like you're living an endless vacation. I said, you know what, you're right. I said, but you don't know how often I get self-excited. But that means when I lose that connection, but for each time a new layer comes up, I'm learning more and more and more. One of my biggest things was I was giving all my energy to you guys and focusing on making sure you're adapting here, and everyone was experiencing success and healing and stuff like that. And I wasn't, and then I would be so exhausted. I wasn't, look at the subluxation, ready? So exhausted that I wasn't going to take the time to rest in that inner wisdom. So I'd go home, spend a little time with the kids, a little time with the dog, watch a movie. I know I got to do this. I don't feel like it. My body I was in the flesh. I got myself too stretched. But as soon as I pay attention to that, that's the next layer. That's the next belief that I had that was limiting me. So I start spending some time reflecting, letting that inner wisdom flow. Connecting to the deep waters inside me. How much time do I need? How often would I need until that shifts? Trusting not in my own strength, but I'm going to let that inner wisdom make a change in me. Start to change. And I start to notice huge changes in my life. I went through it where it's like we were seeing so much growth, and then all of a sudden this valley came in. And it's like, oh my goodness, and I was feeling out about everything about, am I really going to succeed here? Don't you ever have moments like that? Those are the moments that your greatest promotion, those are a sign of promotion. What you're being called to do when you have your deepest things, that no matter how much you're trying hard to be focused, and you're just not really feeling the confidence, not really feeling the faith, not the joy, not feeling the expectation of success, that's when the most layers are coming up to the surface. And if you're doing what we're teaching you to do, what's going to happen? How much shifts? How much changes? Less or more? You're going to have the biggest changes in you. And when you're ready for a certain level of success, when you're that next level is when you let all that go and you're going to be at a new level, then you're going to reach newer heights. And who gets to decide how many layers you're going to be willing to let go? Because what you have inside you is infinite. Who gets to decide how often you're going to do that? Who gets to decide how much time you're going to give for each layer? Who gets to decide, how many layers you're willing to do that for? So who gets to decide if you succeed in life? There we go. With your health, with your finances, with your career, you feel some layers come up? Yes, those are the blocks that we're going to get to. But you're recognizing the truth that you have this divine intelligence inside you. And through that and letting it guide you more, you have the power over your life to be as abundant as you choose to be. What we don't have power over is the timing. Now, that being said, when you surrender that, the timing happens always in the now. So it's like one of those things that when you surrender the timing, I'm saying that so you can surrender the timing and just start trusting, but the more you surrender everything, including the timing, and allow shift, the faster it happens. So you do have a way to speed things up too. You understand the catch-22 there? It's like, in other words, it's like taking control. It's like we're giving you control more in your life, putting you more in the driver's seat. Now, how am I getting you more in control? By having you take time to feel where you've been trying to control things and let go more. And the more you do that, the faster you're adapting and improving, and the more you're in control. So that you're more in control, the more you're letting go of control. It's like a catch-22. That's what it's like. That's why sometimes people get confused when they're talking about spiritual principles or high truths. And yet, it's exactly what everyone's spirit craves, the truth. And you can succeed, and you will succeed, as long as, I was talking to a doctor from Harvard about, they did research on what is common among everyone. And this doctor, she goes, you know what it is? And I started guessing stuff. Is it being driven? She goes, no, there's people who are successful that aren't driven. Then what about focus? Is focus diligence? Commitment? You know what I mean? What is that? I was going on this layer, and it was like, no. There are people out there that are very successful that had none of those. I shared the most common ones that you'd think. There was only one thing that every successful person had in common in their research. Is that someone believed in them. Yeah. If I shared with you how much I love you, but I don't really believe in you, that you're going to be able to overcome your problems, that have power in you, you wouldn't feel loved. That's not love being expressed. Love is sharing that belief in that person so that they can start to believe in themselves too, just like I do to my children. So we want to express that love. That inner wisdom is love. You hit that nail right on the head. Love is caring when it's expressed, right? So when you care so much that you're willing to go through as many layers as it takes. But if you keep relying on the way the world's taught us, it's exhausting. But if you start this new habit, and you're starting for the rest of your life to connect outside or inside. Inside. What does that change for you? What has started to change for you already? You just started. 30 years on this planet, and we just started. What started changing? More than 30, but I just say, just to give a good estimate. What started changing for you? What happened? What's that? Believe. So you start to really believe you can succeed. Why are you believing you can succeed? What's changing there? So our faith is growing. That's a huge thing. Remember, the one thing that everyone takes is at least someone has to believe in them. She starts to believe. What else? Do you you feel, what about your level of empowerment? Your level of joy? Any changes there? Everything's increasing? What about you? Dad, what's changed for you since you started? You know, estimate about 30 years on this planet. Tell me, what's changed for you since you started?
I have hope.
Hope?
I have more joy.
More joy?
More energy.
More energy? Tell us about physical changes.
I can now walk.
I can now walk. She
I
couldn't walk
can-
when she came in.
Move my neck, which is totally fused.
And even the areas that haven't really started shifting as deep as she wants to, are we going to get there?
Absolutely.
We're going to get there. Are you getting this? Things start to shift. But now let me ask you this. With all that you've accomplished, that's a lot. And you're just starting, okay? Do you feel less energy or more energy?
More.
How can you accomplish more work and feel more energy? Do you see how it's the exact opposite? This is what it takes to truly succeed and have abundance in all areas of your life. Because if you can succeed, but it's requiring so much work that you're feeling drained, you're not gonna last the race. Even if you're so committed mentally to finishing the race, for whatever reason, let's say it's a religious purpose or something else, so you're pushing yourself, you're dying on the inside because you're relying on your own strength. But when you go ahead and you're doing it this way, you're receiving more blessing. So by having this way, you can transform every area of your life and you can succeed. Now, raise your hand if you're choosing abundance in your life. Okay. Are you on track for abundance in your life? Are you sure? Good. Are you? Are you on track for abundance in your life? Are you? Are you? How do you know? Felt it. How do you know? Okay. So let me tell you something. I want deeper than that. Can my feelings be wrong? You ever go in? I went in to give my wife a kiss, and I went like this, and then I felt like, we were on the same page. But can your feelings be wrong sometimes?
Hope she's not here.
She's right there.
Recording you.
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Recording you.
Yeah, according to me. The whole point is, can your feelings be wrong? I gave an example last week to someone. I said, imagine you look at your lottery ticket and you see that you check it and it's the winning numbers. How would you feel?
Awful. No, serious. You know the story about people who won lottery. People commit suicide, get divorced,
So that's one of the layers that we have to focus on. Okay? Because if you feel that if you had let's just call it what it is, a load of money, and your belief is you'd feel awful if that just came into your lap, there's a party that's rejecting it. How much good could you do with that? How many people could you feed? You could give it all away if you wanted to. You could put it to the right places. If you wanted to lay something on it, you could. You don't have to keep. You can give it to me if you want. You could. I'll take it. You got it. The whole point is you don't have to reject it. It's not the money that's evil. You got it. It's the lust for money. You don't go ahead and worship success. Are you choosing success? Are you succeeding in your life?
Yes.
Good, because you're going to do whatever it takes. But it's not because we're worshiping success. It's the giver of that success. It's the inner wisdom. She's choosing to let that wisdom take over her life. And that is what that inner wisdom wants to do to you. It wants to bless you. Do you understand? It's blessing. How many times do we bless ourselves and how many times do we curse ourselves? Wasn't there a story where Jesus walked by this fig tree? And he said to the fig tree, he said something like, this fig tree, you're going to bear no more fruit. He spoke in a way where all the life and vitality got sucked out of it. I could look at you and I could say, because of that belief, you're never going to be as wealthy as you could be. See, that's actually taking your life energy and sucking it down. That's a curse. You see, anything that's choking life out of you, which, by the way, it's not true. That's exactly layers that are coming up that you're going to be adjusting, shifting, not trusting in me, but what's inside you. You can say, Okay, what am I thinking on this? Dr. Tony brought up some stuff. He's not God. He's not perfect. But neither am I. I'm ready to just start trusting in it. Let's make some time in stillness. There it is. Let's start shifting. And I think changes are taking place. That's it. Just give time. How much time do you need? Are you going to give? As much time as you feel called to give. How often are you going to do it? So you see, now if you're doing it with your own stress and trying to figure everything out, it's overwhelming. You sit there with pen and paper sometimes and forget it. But if you can just rest and say, okay, I'm going to give. How much do you really believe you need before you have that peace, that knowledge? Do it like 5 times a day or 2 times a day, each day this week, 3 weeks, whatever you believe you need. Start paying attention to the changes in you and how your thoughts about it, the epiphanies you're having. You might decide, let me do a little bit more. Let me do a little bit. Be refined. Keep adapting. Keep growing. But as long as you're resting in that inner wisdom, you're going to get there because you're going to be feeling more empowered, more joy, more rejuvenated. You're going to want to do it more. You're going to want to spend more time resting in that inner guidance. That's what's going to happen. Because it feels good, you get more reward. Each time you get, what happens to someone when they do an action and you give them a reward? They do it again, so you give them another reward. What if the more they're constantly doing it with more enthusiasm, what's going to happen? That's what happens. We're being guided. Everything's working out perfectly, okay? So the first step is to choose success. Do you have the power to do that now? See, you have this inability to adapt. And who gets to decide how often and how much time and for how many layers you're going to do? Who gets to decide that? And now, do you have a path and a way to do that? So whether you succeed or not is up to who? That's the first step. Take ownership. But no more with the burden of, but I got to dig deep. It's going to take a lot of hard work. Are you actually learning that the hard work, yes, you still got to dig deep, but we labor to rest. We're working on connecting to that inner peace, letting the divine flow through. You can do it. Do you want that? Do you want to do it and have it get easier and easier with time, not harder and harder? God knows there's times where my wife and I cried and said, I just want it to get easier. Haven't you ever had a time like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So start choosing that for yourself. Whatever limiting beliefs and ideas that come up that say it can't get to be easier, that's holding you back. Okay? And choose grace. Plant that seed into your heart. I want whatever needs to change in my heart. One of the greatest gifts I have is my faith in the divine intelligence, the way that it is, because I get to choose grace, because I can go ahead and take this idea that I can receive success on higher levels than I deserve through my habits. Even though I know I'm going to get there, I'm letting that inner wisdom, letting God take over my head. I'm going to go dig deep, surrender as much as I need, as often as I need, let him take over, be guided. But I'm going to see results more, way before my habits are at the level of receiving it, being ready to receive it. How do I know? Because my heart's committed. I have this belief. My heart's committed to God, to letting him take over, and therefore there's a special grace for me. If you don't believe that, you decide whatever. Listen, who gets to decide what you want to align with? Who gets to decide what you want to align with? You do. So just take some time to reflect. You want to align with that? If so, allow yourself time for changes. You can't change your own beliefs. It has to come from inside. Like, you all believe I'm wearing a blue jacket. Try to convince yourself it's red. You can start saying, that's red jacket. You can try to find clever ways to justify it. Well, it's just the way, really, that's the color that's being absorbed. No, that's not being reflected. So the color that's being absorbed is all the other colors, which red's part of it. You can start playing tricks in your, but the truth is, you're just playing with your minds, trying to get yourself to believe something that you don't really believe. If you want real change in your beliefs and faith, it's got to come from outside or inside. That's where we're learning to make time with. You want to see change in your finances? Start connecting on a deeper level. So here's the key. Choose success. Are we choosing success? What does it take? Everything we got? Digging deep. Let's dig deep in a way. Do you have a way to dig deep that you're going to be more energized and not less energized? Okay. Give thanks too. Praise sandwiches help. So thankful that I have that. So thankful. See, it takes deeper root. Let it take deeper root. Let it take deeper root. See, the inner wisdom is full of life, isn't it? If I cut off all the nerves to someone's organ, to their lungs, that lungs is going to die. Those lungs are going to die. If you disconnect it from the brain, that inner wisdom, that organizing intelligence, innate intelligence, whatever you want to call it, if we cut it off, things die. So that inner wisdom is life. Well, life will always have an action step with it. It's not a dead intelligence, it's a live intelligence, it's a living wisdom. So the whole point is there's always an action step with it. And that action step will never be something that overwhelms you. That's why the first action steps usually that we're getting you to do are inner. Take a second. How many breaths? Good job, Melissa. Did you feel that shift in you? You just allowed something to change in you. How much hard work was that? No, you just breath. You're allowing things are shifting. You got it? And when we make the adjustments, things are shifting deeper. You know, if you really think about the seriousness of subluxation, when we have circulation issues that cause nerve pathways to die, and it happens all suddenly in one shot. What's that called? An infarct, which is like a heart attack or a stroke, right? Okay. When we're subluxated, remember all the research we showed in the medical journals and stuff, but plus your own personal experience and how, is that not a circulation issue causing nerve pathways to die? But it's not all at one time and it's not all in one region. However, is that pretty much nerve damage happening from circulation issues? So it's like a stroke, but over time. Look at the seriousness of it. You're literally losing nerve pathways. The medical journals back this up. It talks about atrophy, which is shrinkage. It talks about nerve damage. It talks about what's it called? Demyelination, right? It talks about nerve loss, which is nerves dying. Doctors know this. They say the average person starts off with this many 100 billion nerves in their brain, and by the time you're this age, it's down to this, and by the time you're this age, it's down. Yes? Okay. And what we're doing is actually seeing which nerve pathways have died over the years that aren't able to support this organ to heal, or this healing, or that. Are we making new nerve pathways and reinforcing it, and then giving you the ability to keep allowing that change now? The next time you have the old habit, stay there so you keep reinforcing that new nerve pathway until there's enough life and vitality to that organ and seeing the organs improve and heal. That we're literally doing that. So whoever told you all that you have no choice, you have to just let life shut down as you get older, that was a lie, or it's incorrect. You can have life increase. The scripture says he must increase, I must decrease. That's the whole point. That's what we're learning. To let your light shine. What you know deep within, when deep within, the deep waters inside you go, I know I'm really meant to do this, but really I'm doing this. That's called conflict internally. It's going to cause breakdown. Any psychologists, right? That's going to cause breakdown, inner conflict, right? Oh yeah. So the whole, anyone else know psychology? Any others? No? You get it? You know that, right, Doc? So the whole point is that this is serious. Subluxation is like stroke, but over time. And because it's over time, over years, what's happening is as the nerve pathways die, the vitality is decreasing. So what happens is your body's adapting to the best of its ability to deal with this. Nerve pathways dying, literally. And what happens is, so you don't really notice it. It goes unnoticed by a lot. And your vitality is dying until soon one organ starts to fail here, or temporarily, but it went away. Oh, it's okay. Oh, it happened again next week. Oh, or 3 months. You start to see little signs that there's not enough life. Oh, don't worry, just take this medicine.
Yeah.
Oh, just do this, right? So there's layers there. Life shutting down, death, decay. Is it an exaggeration? Am I exaggerating that? The flesh wants, you can feel the resistance because everyone is like, if that's that serious, everybody needs to be aware of it. Am I wrong? Nerve pathways dying. Stroke, death, decay, breakdown. That's what decay means. But what's happening to your nerve pathways? Are you rebuilding?
Absolutely.
Are the nerve pathways that we're replacing there now built on a stronger foundation than even the old ones anyway?
Yes.
So even despite all your problems, are you being made even better than before?
Absolutely.
You got it? You're being renewed in a new way. How does that feel? Now your feelings can be based on incorrect information. That lottery ticket, I realized, for me, most people would feel joy. Okay, mister? Threw me off on that. That's why I'm coming back to it right now. Because I wasn't expecting anyone to go, man, I'd feel crappy if I won the lottery. I'm like, why did you buy the lottery ticket? You know what I mean? So, but the whole point is, most people feel joy, right? Okay. Now, yeah, you just got empowered. Money is really just an exchange of value. So what do you care about in your life? that now you have this ability to go ahead and purchase it. What do you care about? Now you have that empowerment to go ahead and get it instantly, without any effort. That's why people like money, because it's without any effort. They go after the money. Instead of, the whole point is your life can still get effortless if you're resting in. So the whole point is, now you look at your lottery ticket and you realize, oh, I read the numbers wrong. Wait, who here, raise your hand if you felt the feeling just shift. Yes, yes? Did you feel the feeling shift? You felt the feeling? Okay. So does that mean your feeling's going to be wrong if the information you're thinking or in your brain and your nerves is wrong? That's another reason why we're working with this. So we're starting to build on a stronger foundation, basing on your inner light, common sense, building on a stronger foundation, not on people's opinions and stuff, but what you know to be true, and literally looking for the results to change. And if something's not changing, then there's a layer, we're missing something, and with each layer that comes up, what are we going to do? It's blockage to your success. Take time, adjust, allow it from the outside or the inside. So we're resting more, allowing more time to change, allowing until we feel something change, a deeper level of peace. That means a more empowered way of dealing with stuff, of talking to yourself, of talking to others. So you go back out there more empowered than before you started, and you can keep shifting until you see the results, right? And what are we seeing? We're seeing people come off their diabetes medicines. There's people come off their heart pressure medicines. We're seeing people, you know, the level of success depends on how early we can catch stuff. If subluxation is literally as serious as we're describing it, as the medical journals describe it as, nerve pathways are dying, shrinking. So it's like, that's the same thing as like a stroke, but slower, and it's not all in one spot, but you get the point. Then we got to make haste, because if somebody's been coming in for 30 years and all of a sudden they're diagnosed with cancer and it's stage 4 and it's spread everywhere, oh, there's a chance we might not be able to get to every layer enough. And sometimes even still then we see people shift and starting to go away. Sometimes we don't. That's the truth. That's why we want to connect as much as fast as possible. That's why it's good to raise our children with healthy nerve systems, adapting. You know, our vision is to have the community shift. Let me go over some of the layers for finances. And I'm going to share, I'm going to do that in the next like 10 minutes. I'm going to show you some stuff. We'll experience 1 or 2. We'll do take 5 minutes for that. And then I'm going to share with you an awesome vision that we're looking to shift. And I'm just so thankful to be here and to bless you with this. We're going to make sure everyone's on track for abundance. You got it? Whatever type you're talking about. So you're choosing to succeed. Timing. Okay? When you're in the right vibration. Okay? When you're ready and you're choosing success, you will start to have little moments of inspiration come to you. You ever have that? Raise your hand if you had that. I'll call and say, oh, I should call this person. Oh, I should do this. Right?
Oh my God.
That's how you got here. Come here. Okay. Now, that is the key. Your inner wisdom has what kind of timing? Everyone, do you know what the word I'm looking for is?
Perfect.
Yes, perfect. Your inner wisdom has perfect timing. I've had times in my life where I was looking for the right action step. I'm not feeling it. I'm not getting it yet. I'm not getting it yet. Really, I needed changes in me. I didn't know that at the time. I wasn't getting it yet. I wasn't getting it yet. So I would come up with my own action step. Have you raise your hand if you've done this? And then what was the result? Disaster. So, and you wasted time and you wasted energy. So instead of resting more in that inner wisdom and say, okay, how many layers are there? Oh boy, remember, when you're going through a big sink, there's a bigger elevation you're about to be. You got it? Because you're going to allow shift, deeper shift. Just be patient. And it will happen faster. See the catch-22? So you go ahead. Yeah, when you're not being patient, you're putting more tension on your nerves. Does tension on your nerves speed up how fast you adapt or slow it down? It slows it down. So the more patient you are, the faster you succeed. So you do have control over the timing. Just let go of control over the timing. So see that catch-22? It's pretty crazy. But I think in this room here, you guys, we've connected with it enough that you're understanding. If anyone's not getting it, please raise your hand. You get it, Melissa? Okay, good. Okay, so the timing is always perfect. So what happened is I realized that if I got that action step earlier, the problem is that I would have done it instantly because I was so committed. And I wouldn't when I wasn't supposed to do it. I actually gave Angela an example today, which is perfect for this. I'm going to describe it. So imagine if she wanted to go to, let's say, BJ's or something, or Home Depot, and say, hey, I want to speak to the manager in charge. It's like sometimes you guys let things that are good for the community and stuff like that. They go set up on the outside, and as people in the community walk by, we could do blood pressure screening or something like that. It's great because a lot of people don't even realize sometimes they have blood pressure. It's one of the top killers. We can point them in the right direction, give advice as what could be causing it, share stuff with them. And a lot of times, a lot of stores will go ahead and be like, yeah, you guys can set up, or you know what I'm talking about, a little table there or something, and I said, when you get inspiration, where to go. When you start tuning in, you're going to get ideas like that, right? And what happens is, when you get inspiration in that moment, where to go, you're going to want to do it right at that moment. If you got it earlier, I said, what if you're meant to do, what if you're meant to, where can I go? I want to really make a difference. I want to set something up. I want to do stuff. We think like that. We want to spread that seed. We want to empower everyone. We want to make sure everybody's succeeding because we know they have the power inside them to do it. And a lot of people are feeling sad. A lot of people are getting sicker with time. 5 out of 6 deaths. Stroke, heart attack, and cancer. Bodies are breaking down. So we want to help them. You with me? Okay. So the whole point is, if Angela got the inspiration for exactly where to go on Tuesday, but the perfect timing was Friday afternoon. Let's say the manager was going to be a different manager in charge who was going to be that Friday morning, was just going to experience a phone call about someone in their family that had a health issue, and their heart would have been like, what's going on? Why is things going on with health? And then that afternoon, Friday afternoon, Angela walks in there and speaks to the manager and say, hey, do you guys do something like this to really help people there? And their cousin just had a heart attack. They're going to be like, oh my God, yes, let's do that. Whereas if she did it 2 days earlier, that person might have said no. So sometimes we're waiting for the right, trust the time. Your inner wisdom has perfect timing. If you're not getting it yet, it's time for you to work through more layers. If you're not at peace yet, trusting in that timing, you get it? Now, what does that mean? If that inner wisdom has perfect timing, then how much time of a delay after you get a moment of inspiration, insight, and action step that comes to you from the inside, how much time should you wait before you actually do it? Zero. You ever notice once you get inspiration, let us know, watch this. If you waited a day, it's still pretty good. You wait 2 days, it's starting to get a little stale. 3 days, it's starting to get stale. The longer you wait, the more stale that inspiration gets and it doesn't work. Okay, so by getting your nerves more adaptable, to allow, when you get inspiration, to allow something to change more layers, to adapt at any given moment, so you can go wherever you're called to do whatever you're called to do, how you're called to do it, you're going to be opening up to more abundance in your life, aren't you? Because you're going to be able to follow that inspiration instantly. So the first step is choose success. And then when you're choosing success and inspiration starts to come, as well, you're working, you're adapting. That's everyone in this room is getting more adaptable. You're going to have less of a delay. Because what are the things that delay us? Fear. Doubt. Fear of taking a risk. I heard a pastor, Andrew Womack, say, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking too much space. Yeah, you're trying to avoid having to be in faith and trust your inner wisdom a little bit. And if you're not trusting what's deep inside you, well, why would someone else trust you all the way through and through? And it takes trust to succeed. I'm going to say that again because it's the first time I've ever said it that way. It's pretty powerful. If you're not trusting what's deep inside you, then why would anyone else trust you through and through? And it takes trust to succeed. Developing relationships. You need at least one person who believes in you at minimum to start growing, right? Someone's got to buy your product, whatever it is, or do whatever, you get it? Or encourage you when you're feeling down, or whatever it is. So you got to start trusting what's in your inner wisdom. And there's these layers. So fear of taking a risk. You got to start trusting that inner wisdom. Get out there. Okay? Fear of success. There's all different types of fears of success. We're not going to get into all of them, but there's ways to check. When you're ready to go through the layers, when you come in for your visits, we'll bring them up. Sometimes we're afraid of, what if I have all that money? It's going to corrupt us. That's a fear of success. But I got news for you. Fear is not God's tool.
Well, winning the lottery is not my recipe to be successful.
Yeah, I know.
I never played the lottery.
I got it. Yeah. So, but fear, the point is fear paralyzes. So what does that do to life? Activities, fear stops us from succeeding. Believe me, I know from a lot of experience, unfortunately. But then again, fortunately, those layers came up and it's allowing me to grow so much that nothing was wasted. Because I'm being called to help others go through the same challenges I learned to overcome. So you see, it's all the same thing as you. That's where the inspiration comes. That's where I'm going to be the most successful. You got it? So the timing is perfect. The more depth, the more abundance. Expression. The more your nerves get healthy, the more you're able to express your vision. For lack of vision, nothing's going to succeed, okay? But to take that vision, a lot of times you got to see it in your imagination. An architect who designed the Empire State Building saw it in his imagination first. A lot of people incorrectly think your imagination is fantasy, like kids imagining things that are not real. No, we're talking about using an imagination in a real way. That architect couldn't have put the plans and the blueprints down unless he saw it in his imagination first. Right now, you could tell me exactly how many windows are in your house, but you'd have to use your imagination and start counting, right? Your imagination is a powerful tool. Yes? Yes. So if you're on seeing the bad and what can fail and what's going to happen, that's not helping you. But if your imagination is focused on seeing you successful and committing to that and moving that direction, now all the layers can come up. So what do you want to see in your mind's eye? You failing or you succeeding? You in pain or you comfortable, flexible, strong, and healthy? You're going to get there. Okay? But you got to be able to express your visions to get others to share the vision. That's why I said I want to share that. This is the perfect workshop to be given because I was working on certain things and epiphanies were coming to me right now in relationship to abundance, and it was like, let's share this with people because I see it. Abundance is coming into my life and I want to share it with you. Got it? Here's a layer. Here are the different layers now. Are you ready? Layers. Scarcity versus abundance thinking. Remember, I said I'm going to give some time for the layers now. I'm going to go through a bunch of layers here. We're not going to engage in each one, but I want to just get through them. I want you to be aware of the different layers, okay? Scarcity thinking versus abundance thinking. So let's say imagine if I only had $1 in my pocket, okay? But I have $100 that I wish I had, right? Scarcity thinking is when I'm focusing on how I only have I'm focusing on the $99 that I don't have. That's scarcity. Abundance thinking is focusing on how can I turn this into $100? Where can I invest? Right? It's not just this. I have so much more than that. I have my gifts, my talents, my energy, my time and energy. How can I invest my resources in a way where I can get that $1,100 times 10? Start tuning your brain in. Your brain's an antenna. How can I do that? Start focusing on the gifts that you have. When you start focusing on what you don't have, I don't have, then even what you do have, because the point is you do have a lot, you're going to lose it. But when you're focusing on what I do have, I have. Look what I'm blessed with. You realize everything's a seed. Every person in your life is a blessing. You're all a blessing to me, aren't you? Because we have one common goal. For you to have success in your life, and period. And for you to be successful means you want everyone you love to be successful. So I can just keep it simple as that. And so the more you're learning about success and healing, the more you can bless others, and you're realizing stop trying to get them to do stuff, and then just whatever your level of faith and confidence is as you grow, just pass on that level of faith. If you pass on a little too much, you're passing my level of faith, but not what you necessarily. You have to evaluate, what do I really believe? As I'm learning, as I'm growing. Notice it's getting stronger though, right? But the whole point is your goal, the only thing you need to do to be successful is start passing on that light, passing on what you really believe, and encourage others. So if someone's struggling in their health, what do we say? We're going to help you. We're going to find a way. If you're not sure how, I'll stay with you. I'll go over it, but I know there's a way because I've done this before. You see, I'm going deeper and deeper through the layers until a person can feel that confidence and faith and they know it's genuine and real. And I'm passing it forward and to them so they can receive it. I say, we'll make time. We'll discuss it. I'll show you whatever we need to do, but we'll get you on track for success, okay? I did today. You got it? So you get the point? So the point is that you want to shine your light, express your light. You want to be able to share others in the same vision. It's important for success. What about your scarcity versus abundance thinking, right? Everything has value. Everything has value. I wrote down a little example here because when the Brooklyn Bridge, you ever hear that expression when you were a kid? Like, well, this guy's such a, he could try to get you to buy the Brooklyn Bridge or something like that, right? So that was a common expression, at least for a long period of time. And when they were doing work on the bridge, there was all these construction garbage that was built out, pieces and things like that. And someone asked if they could have it. They got it for free and started selling it with a little packaging that said, I purchased, the Brooklyn Bridge or something like that. And it has a little piece of it and they have it. And so their resources, they actually got something that was zero, sold it for like $5 or $3 or whatever it was, and sold millions of them and made millions of dollars. You got it? It's like, like ideas and inspiration will come to you. You got it? Isn't that cute? But, I bought the Brooklyn Bridge and it has a little piece, something like that. It was pretty cool. You can look it up online. Focus. Your focus is really important. One of the layers is what are you focusing on? Where are you focusing? Are you focusing on all the problems or are you focusing on the change? When you go ahead and you feel a tension or a blockage or a layer come up, sometimes it's just focusing, getting 3 breaths, let's say, 2 breaths, 30 seconds, but it's not 30 seconds and then not losing focus. You got to stay focused, not just there, but on allowing your inner light to make a shift in your thinking about it. There it is. What are you focusing? Allowing growth. If you're not growing, are you succeeding? No. So what do you want to focus on? The growth. And then spend the time there. Now you're letting that inner wisdom take over. Or if you just sit there focusing on attention and it's nothing, then you're not going to succeed. You're not going to adapt. You need to actually adapt. Okay? Limiting beliefs about money. There's a lot of them. Money is evil. Have you ever heard of that? That's a layer. If you have any limiting beliefs about money, there's ways to check your nerve system, see if it overwhelms you by even thinking about it, or there's ways to dig deeper and see if there's anything underneath and bring it up. What about limiting belief about how? Now, I don't have any limiting beliefs about money, but I just don't see how it can come into my life right now. I don't see what way it's going to manifest. Sometimes we have limiting beliefs about that, right? Don't limit God. What about limiting beliefs? Your expectations. Are you really, truly expecting? Your expectation is such an important thing. That's why I asked you if you're succeeding. Are you choosing success? And I remind you, that's why we started off there. Because when you are choosing success and you're relying on the power inside you and you realize I can connect with that as much as I need, as often as I need, you realize whether you succeed or not is up to you. Now, you can truly expect it and it's realistic. And if you're not expecting it, it means you're doubting yourself as to whether you're willing to give as much time as it takes, go through as many layers. And that is the special gift of this divine in you, because then it's like, let's rest in that inner wisdom more. And the more you do that, the more it keeps refreshing you and renewing you. And you're like, why would I not choose success? I feel more renewed, not more hard work. You got it? So adapting into an action step. What about time? Sometimes you have limiting beliefs about time. That's a layer that may come up. I don't have time. I'm too busy. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. It's like if your nerves or pathways are dying, it's literally a stroke, but slow. It's been going on for years. Organs are shutting down. You may not have much time. I don't mean how much time do you want to take? Oh, I don't have time. You get it? It's like I don't have time is another limiting belief, isn't it? You have 24 hours every day, just like someone like Bill Gates, who's probably doing managing billions of things, but he's developed systems and approach and knows how to delegate. And little by little, start grow, letting yourself grow. You'll get there if you choose to. And you live long enough. You'll get there. You get it? So, but you can know you'll be, stop cursing yourself, start blessing yourself. I mentioned that earlier. A blessing is when, it's not saying, oh, bless you, bless you, bless you. Curse you, curse you. No, it's every word you speak is either a blessing or a curse. When I go ahead and I'm speaking to Dr. Ram over here, challenges come, you're getting more and more confidence to overcome everything naturally from the inside out. You're receiving that. Your kids are learning to adapt. Even, I have kids too, even when they're stubborn sometimes, and you know what I mean? We're always showing them that they're important, they're valuable. We're teaching them those principles. And they take time to adapt and then letting it be part of their lifestyle. And it's ensuring a good future, relying on, they're recognizing that what they have inside them is truly special. This is going to be blessing you for generations. Right? See, these are the blessing we receive now. For up to 7 generations, you're going to see that affect your whole family. Wait, do you feel yourself receive it? So life is increasing. He's receiving that blessing. And the more his brain is aligning with it, you can bless people all day long. A lot of times what we're doing is going up to somebody who's having a challenge. Name someone who's having a challenge who doesn't mind being cursed for a second, but I'll fix it. Come on. Nobody,
Pick
right?
on me.
What?
Go ahead, pick on me.
Okay.
Say that again now?
So I'm going to do it right now. Just watch. She said, "Go ahead, pick on me." Right?
No, but what was your question? What preceded that?
You're gonna find out right now.
Okay.
See, this is what we're trying to stop. You always keep letting yourself let negative things happen. Did I just bless her or hurt her? Yeah. Who likes to do that? Point things out and stuff.
My ex-wife.
Now let me share with you the whole truth. Any curse is always a half truth. The whole truth is that right now, as we speak, because of the choices you've made and the way you come here, the way you're adapting, the lifestyle you're living, it's just the next layer coming up, and you're realizing actually you're right. You were being helpful and but at the same time, you also were being faithful. That you knew that nothing's going to hurt you now. You wouldn't do it if you really thought it was going to hurt you. And the whole point is, well, words are powerful. If you ask my 10-year-old, definitely, probably my 8-year-old too. I think even my 6-year-old. Do you have a magic wand? She would say yes. You say, what did you want? She goes, my word is my wand. Yeah. She blessed the house we were looking to buy once. She said, this is definitely, we had put an offer on a house, and it went for way over the asking price, and there was a bidding war, and I didn't get one because I didn't think it should go a certain line. And then there was another one and another one. And then finally there was this one, and all of a sudden I was like thankful that we didn't get those. This is the one. This is the one. You know what I mean? It was perfect. And once again, it was going through all that. And my daughter looks at it, and she felt it deep in her heart, through and through. She goes, this is the one. She went ahead, and she goes, I'm going to bind this house to us, Daddy. In the name of Jesus. She went ahead, and she did it. Right now, she goes, Dad, your word is your wand. First, she asked me for confirmation. Dad, your word is your wand, right? She goes, yeah. And I'm going to do this right now. But it came from such a deep place that even when we lost the thing and somebody just went ahead and jumped the gun crazy and went like another 20,000 over that, everyone's going, it's not even worth that in that area. And then what happened was that fell through. Nothing. See, once your word is your word, nothing can hold that back. That went through and everything broke apart and it came back to us. And I was like, wow. When it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Who gets to decide? Right? I mean, you get to decide how you succeed. You're adapting better. So it might not be exactly the way you thought originally because you're growing as a person. It's the way you would want it to be at the moment that you're ready to receive it. So you'll always get at least the equivalent or better. Is that a good seed to receive? Are you receiving that? Okay. At least the equivalent or better. Start blessing yourself. Look in the mirror. Stare at yourself in the eyes and tell yourself, you are succeeding in every area of your life. And then when you look at that person as if it was one of your clients or one of your patients, and you can see the doubts in your own eyes, tell yourself why you know you're going to succeed. Take it one layer deeper. The reason I know this is because even though, don't go into denial about challenges. We want to adapt to everyone, even though this and even though that. You have a power in you, and you're starting to make time. You're going to Dr. Tony's office now. He's going to start guiding. You're going to start learning more on your own. You're going to do whatever it takes, as long as it takes. You're not going to be drained by it. You're going to feel more rejuvenated. That's how special that power in you is. You're divine. You just don't know it yet, but you're going to see until you start receiving it. Do you receive that? Take time to let that deep love inside you flow through every thought, every feeling, every layer, aspect of you. There you go. Just let it flow. See the healing. You see that? Ooh. Your vibration, you just felt like a race to your heart. Yeah. Okay. That's it. Okay. So, I mean, I could keep going. There's a lot of stuff, but just know that you're meant to succeed. I have a vision, guys. The goal. Oh, one more layer. I specifically brought this out. There's a book here, Feelings Very Alive by Cal Truman. There's 31 different limiting beliefs that affect success. Sometimes we go through those, like feeling unworthy or undeserving of financial success, feeling that you have to be poor in order to feel humble and close to God, feeling fear that you won't do the correct things, or just general anxiety over money matters, fear of the responsibility that comes with financial success. So her nerves get overwhelmed a little bit when we focus on that. So we want to start adapting, finding out what's going on there. Sometimes we have to go a little bit deeper, right? Like we did the other day, and it's more powerful, right? But you can go as deep as you need to go, as often as you need to, okay? Anyway, there's a whole 31, and there's all these different layers. You know, there's a belief. Sometimes we carry this belief, things never work out for me. You ever catch yourself saying that? Stop hurting yourself. Wait. Hold your hand like this. Let me show you something. Stop it. I'll give you a little anchor. The same way you would do to like a 2-year-old? Hey, no. No, not in the face. Anyway, but you get it? So now the goal here is to we have a community growing. You got it? You know, no matter who you speak to, no matter who you're sharing with, no matter who it is, it doesn't matter how much decay somebody has, how many years of breakdown. Is this a place that no matter who you are, we find a way to make sure you can get all your needs and make it affordable to everyone so that money is not an issue holding you back from succeeding? Do we do that? How are we going to do that for any friends and family that you've heard? We do that for everyone. Okay, so the whole idea of people not being able to afford success is a lie. And first of all, it doesn't even make sense, because as you start succeeding, they just don't know that yet. The real question is about our faith and letting and sharing that whatever you do believe with others, if you know that, you can start there. But the whole point is, imagine the first step that I feel like is 200 families. It's not that bad. It's not that hard. Imagine 200 families all growing together, adapting together. Like, did you see that beautiful family, a couple families that came in today? And then you have your beautiful family, and you know, I didn't see them today, but you probably have more and more families coming in, really allowing a shift. Do you believe that this is a great way for families to grow and live? To start believing in yourself, 100%, adapting to every challenge, knowing that you have the ability to overcome every challenge, and doing it in a way that's healthy so you can enjoy the fruits of your labor in a nice long time. Okay, this is powerful. And the ability to avoid cancers and strokes and heart attacks. And even if you missed some cell luxations and somewhere there was some internal conflicts causing breakdown, getting your nerves to adapt so much that if God forbid something like that happened, you know how to turn it around quickly. Raise your hand if you made the decision today to allow the number of layers, your adaptability and nerves, just increasing so they can get more and more powerful, right? That's a powerful decision right there. So with time, your visits get more and more powerful. How awesome is that? Now, who do we want to share that with? Everyone. Just focus on when inspiration comes to you, sharing what you believe. Say, what do I really, really believe? Start looking. Don't look outside. Look where? What do I really, really believe? Because if you're full of BS, it doesn't work. You got to be sure. Do I really believe this person can succeed and will succeed? And especially if they come here or something, then you just go ahead and you let them know. Listen, I believe you can succeed. I know it. You share faith. That's all you have to do. And then whatever doors open up, your inner wisdom will guide you with the right steps. And you'll see a lot of people end up coming here to get chances. It's automatic, but all you're doing is focusing on spreading empowerment, empowering others, encouraging one another, supporting one another, letting them know you can do it. There's going to be layers that come up. Don't be afraid of the layers. It's the same layers you had originally. You don't understand. My doctor said this. There's no cure. There's no that. It's like, yes, I know. And you can still succeed. Would you like to know how? So you're waiting for them to make the space so their inner wisdom. And it's like, see, when you really, really, really believe something, when you're only sharing what you really believe deep inside, the way to communicate is right there. All you have to do is imagine I wanted to go to a specific. Imagine when I was 18 years old and I didn't even have any experience communicating. Imagine I was dating someone or with my friends, let's say, and I wanted to see a movie that I know they didn't want to see. smoke. Maybe I was so disempowered, I would have been empowered to come to someone else. But back then, right? No, but the whole point is, let's say I wanted to convince someone to go to a movie. Could you convince someone to go see a movie with you? Yes, and you know exactly how you would approach that person. Depends on the person. Depending on what it is. Honey, you know that movie that I had? Are you looking for a way to, 5-year-olds do this. Daddy, you know how you always want me to be happy? Like, do you want me to be happy now? And like, You know what would really make me happy, Daddy? Ice cream. They know how to, you know what I'm saying? And that's a 5-year-old. You understand? You don't have to think hard about what to do. You just focus on, am I sharing what I truly believe? What do I believe? And start valuing your faith more important than anything else. Watch how what you believe starts to grow the more you want to share. But then you start recognize, oh my goodness, maybe I wasn't fully believing it. Then guess what's going to come up in the next adjustment? You're going to get stronger and stronger in your faith. Wow. There's no greater gift that I can give you than that of your faith. God's just sending me to go ahead and share this with you. And to share with the churches, but really with everyone who's looking for truth. Anyone who's looking to see the provision and health that's there for them. And that's why this is an office where, regardless of how many, someone has 30 years of decay, we'll find a way to make it affordable for everyone. So there's really, you don't find a place like that. This is special. And if we start joining together in this vision of saying, hey, let's get 200 friends to do that. This is a great community that we become a part of, where instead of, when we have challenges in life, instead of talking to someone else in the outer community who's feeling so disempowered, when you feel disempowered, you call someone in this community that feeling's empowered, and we help each other stay at a higher, we have a new standard we're setting for ourselves. What's the standard for the world? You're going to break down with time anyway, so let's just find, we got this new treatment, this new management of your diseases, and you're going to live with disease for the rest of your life, though, but that's the standard of the world, right? We have a new standard. Abundance, joy, everything that divine has for us. Are you with me with this new standard? And we want to let this community grow, and I believe that at around 200 families a week, I'm going to be able to afford to get another doctor in here now. See, we're growing. Just sharing you the vision. God said share the vision. I'm going to share the vision, okay? Where then we can go ahead and start planting stuff in other areas. And if we do it, I have no idea how it's going to be. I don't have all the answers. If it was going to make a franchise, though, I will make sure. You know how we help people financially, we team up? I'll make sure at the very least they have to, in order to do that as we grow, they have to at least come out with people and invest in their health with them financially and help people out. And we could start setting up more places all over the world like that. Is this something that you believe the world needs? Of those of you who believe it's worthy of that, anyone here willing to strategize with us and help us? And just all we have to do is just get the message out. And if you don't feel that your faith is strong enough yet to really pass on to someone, but you want them to get it, just introduce it to me. You think I would hold back? Yeah, you get it. You're not laughing at that. I'm not going to hold back. Let's go ahead and let's do this together. When's the next dinner card?
16th.
What's today?
Not this Monday, the next Monday.
So not this Monday, but the following Monday. That's one way. Okay, and the 16th, not this Monday, the following Monday, we're going to have a dinner in White Plains. And wherever you want to get that level of confidence and faith that you're receiving, but you feel in terms of communicating to others, you don't know if it's strong enough yet, just get them to say, you got to meet this doctor, you got to go ahead. It's like, but really, it's only about what you feel called. If they're feeling disempowered somewhere, or really, if it's someone who's committed to health. Or maybe it's the neighbor next door and their child has asthma. And it's like, listen, I know where you can get this girl's lungs working back to normal again. Perfect. I can help you with that. Would you like to? It takes faith to say something like that, doesn't it? And they think, you're weird. Why are you describing it like that? It's asthma. And you're like, yeah. It's like, did you know what asthma is? I know how to help you fix that. It literally means that the lungs are contracting when they're not supposed to. The bronchial tubes are contracting, and so the air can't get in. I know how to help those lungs work back normally again. I know what it would take. I know where you can go. Would you like your daughter's lungs to work normal again? I know where you can go. No, I'm okay. It's okay. I got news for you. When you go ahead and you're really focused on spreading faith, you're gonna get, when you go ahead and you realize that God's sending you out on a mission, you get persecuted sometimes. You know, so in a court of law, you know, if someone doesn't like someone's testimony about how powerful, see, what we're sharing with people is really belief in themselves. You have the power to overcome. You can do it. But if they're really committed to not even trying, they don't want to just walk away. They want to disprove you first because they don't want to feel like, I know I can do it, but I'm choosing not to. So they will actually sit there and try to help. But because the truth is the truth, that you do have the power inside you when you're really focusing on the inner wisdom, it just takes away time and you get discouraged and frustrated. You can be tempted to let yourself get discouraged and frustrated, but not anymore because you're raising awareness to this, and that layer's coming up right now. It's about, remember we said focus? We're going to shift our focus not to the billions, out of the billions of people on this planet, there are literally millions of people right now praying for help, praying for an answer. And even though there's hundreds of billion, I don't know how many billion people, the whole point is, I'm losing focus on my numbers now. What is there, a few billion people, or I don't know, 6 billion, okay. But the whole point, of those 6 billion people, aren't there maybe hundreds of millions of people praying? Isn't there probably a million people right in this area here praying for help? I mean, 90% of us are dying from strokes, heart attacks, and cancer. There's a lot of people praying for help. Now, of 10 people that walk by, it might be only one of them. So don't get stressed out about the fact that 3 people I talked to were just focused on who is it that's praying for help, because you are being able to help them. Any other thing in life that you do, it's about, focus on where you're being called to go and not where you're being called not to go. That's important for success. It's about, I used to let that get me down because I just wanted everyone to live longer and better and free of disease and to know what they're capable of and to be as empowered. You know what? Now I realized even the divine can't help someone who's refusing to allow change. Nothing changes unless who changes? Unless you allow, you have to allow change. That's right. And so this is what it's about. I love you guys. Okay? Are you gonna raise your hand so I have an idea of who is there? Is gonna in your mind start allowing the space to say, I wonder who I can spread faith to about where they're disempowered. So I'm gonna look for who's the disempowered, who's praying for help, and see who's the right one. And then when someone comes into your heart, inspiration, how long should you wait before you act? Immediately, you'll see success drive up. Humility is a gift. You don't go ahead and try to act like you know everything. Say, I don't know how to tell you what I know. I just felt in my heart that I need to talk to you. Isn't that more powerful? Yeah, just let your light shine. Let the caring flow, the love. And you're going to experience more abundance in your life. In every way. I love you. Have a great night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay? Let me give you a bit today. You got that? You want me to do this?